let's just say you never know what a day is gonna bring. This is not good. My crazy brother. Just kidding, he's not crazy. He's awesome, but my goodness. Sometimes your brothers and family just do stuff that it's gonna be okay. No need to stress out and worry, but my brother did do something that was uncalled for. The poor guy went around with the mower and shot all this. My poor brother doesn't know as much about gardening as I do, and he thought he was helping, so his heart is right. He went, he took the mower and he mowed all the way around the garden here, and he shot all the grass clippings in there. You know what that means? That means we have all kinds of grass seeds right there in the garden. The whole goal of doing this no-till garden like this is that we're trying to cover up all of those weeds and seeds under there, and then add material that does not have seeds in it. But with him shooting all this grass on top of here, but this does bring up a good point. It's helpful and really actually pretty important to know what types of grass or weeds or perennials are growing in the area where you're wanting to put in your no-till garden. They're all going to have different amounts of hardiness. Some of the plants will be able to just like shoot through all this material. Some are super easy to kill off. You just need to be able to determine what kinds of weeds are growing right where you're trying to do your no-till garden. Like for me, this is all zoysia grass, which actually that's a good thing to see because this is not going to seed right now. So all that right there is actually not a problem. With zoysia grass, you don't have to worry about the leaves taking root, but with Bermuda grass you do. Looks like we have a little crabgrass growing. That's not too bad as far as the roots go, but I do need to watch out for the seeds. See right there? So that means we have some seeds that were shot into the area, but actually he didn't really shoot much right here for some reason. So that's good. Largest areas where he shot, grass in are right across here, which actually is happy news because that is mostly zoysia grass. Zoysia grass, zoysia grass, zoysia. Well, my day just got a little happier right now. Whoa! So it looks like most of what he shot back in was zoysia grass, which is not a problem. Whoa! Sweet niblets. Oh, that's another garden guy phrase. Sweet niblets just means awesome, super good. I'm happy about whatever just happened. Just to be sure, I'm gonna go ahead and rake this back and put it over there where the mushroom compost is, and then I'll go ahead and cover up everything with the wood mulch. Should be good now. It's all spread out with the compost. Now we're gonna cover it up with that other compost. Let me show you something really exciting. Look at this. Alright, we're pulling back some of the cardboard just to show you. It's only been a few days. And look at that. It's already starting to die off. See how it's turning yellow? That means that the plant is starting to be smothered and die off. It's all starting to die off. Okay, here's something that is really important I want to show you. This plant right here, let's see what it is. Yep, what I thought. This is Bermuda grass. Bermuda grass is one of those grasses that grows rhizomes that run across the, right underneath the soil. And those rhizomes will shoot out new grass wherever they're going along. So like this guy right here is continuing to grow all the way along. Pretty intense root structure. Okay, you can kind of see that plant? It was all coming from one specific root that was running all the way across the ground. So the roots goes like this, and the shoot comes straight up from it, and that's this shoot right here. Bermuda grass is going to probably be one of my main struggles to get this garden under control, but thankfully it didn't look like it was coming through the cardboard. This plant right here is a wild violet, which comes back every year from its roots. You'll be able to see a root right here. I'll dig it out. Got a piece of it. Yep. So there is a wild violet root. It's the plants like this, the perennials and the Bermuda grass, that are the toughest to control. But once they are actually controlled, once these perennials are controlled, once this plant is dead, it's not coming back. And all the pre-existing seeds that are underneath all this garden, as long as we keep it covered and don't till it up, don't mix it, those seeds are going to stay dormant till they either die off or we just keep on adding mulch on top and we don't have to worry about them ever again. That cardboard back. Pretty soon we're going to be getting a border to go all the way along the edge, but that's not today. See that fungal activity right there? Starting to break down the compost. Ooh, wow. Whew. Some good stuff right there. All the little white stuff you see is called hyphae. It's like the roots for fungi. By the way, this piles of mulch, let's just say they make my heart happy. Keep on decomposing. There's one more problem that I'm seeing this morning, and it's kind of sad. It kind of makes me frustrated, but at the same time, we're all going to be able to learn from it and grow from it. Guys, the transplants that I got from the roads got attacked big time. I mean, I'm talking about they really got attacked big time. What a sad, sad day. Oh my goodness. This is really the culmination of multiple factors. I'm really thinking that what happened was, you know, these starts actually came from Justin and Rebecca Rhodes. I'm super grateful for them to, you know, they just blessed me with giving me these plants. But I think they may have already been infected with the bugs. After looking at it a little more, like, there's areas where I see there were eggs. See right here? Right there's some eggs. Now Justin and Rebecca, if you watch this, don't think I'm blaming you for giving me all kinds of bad seedlings. You know, this was a gift. It's who knows what's going to happen whenever you give a gift of little plants. But basically, we had the problem of bugs. Lots of bugs. Looks like they've been munching on these Swiss chard as well. They still have potential to grow, but they're definitely not going to be as good as they used to be. You have little plants that lose all their leaves, man, that severely impacts the growth of the plant. That cuts down all the inputs, all the potential photosynthesis that could have been happening. That's pretty rough for little baby plants. I'll still be able to direct seed to get beets and spinach and all kinds of other plants that I'll direct seed with, but I won't be able to do as much on the transplanting side of life. I'm still gonna go buy some transplants, but it's still a sad day. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches and learn from the mistakes, or just sometimes it's not even a mistake. Like, I didn't know that they were infected with, you know, bugs already. But you live and learn. I think a good practice might be to put netting on the sides of your greenhouse, or even just netting over your transplants even while they're small, because what can happen is the moths will fly in and lay their eggs even while the plants are small, and you already have that problem before you even know it. So starting off the plants with the covering is going to be the way to go. Since most of what was attacked and really eaten down was the brassicas, the cabbage and the kale, I'm thinking that we had cabbage worms that were, those eggs were laid. Aha! Found the culprit. Cabbage worm for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and finish all the last little bit of compost down here, layer it, and then get those plants in the ground. The romaine really didn't get hurt by the bugs, but it's definitely ready to be planted. Beyond ready, actually. I can tell that the worm castings actually did help. See the dark green? We didn't have that before. The dark green of the leaves. These leaves are looking more lush, but the bugs were the main problem. But keep in mind, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. My philosophy is that if you have a healthy plant, if you have a, this plant is just thriving, then it is going to be resistant to bugs, any kind of pest, because bugs, pests, we call them pests because we don't like them, but really, bugs, insects, they really attack the plants that are not healthy, the plants that are already on the stress scale. Now these plants, they were pretty stressed. I mean, they were in little spaces, they were moved from one state to another. So stressed plants are more prone to pressure from pests. They're actually even more prone to weeds, because weeds are gonna be able to take over the space that the healthy plant would have been covering with its own leaves. Guess what I'm getting this afternoon? I'm getting a wheelbarrow. Yep, it was about time. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Probably not exciting to just look at the tarp. So I'll flop you around so you can see where we're going, sort of. It's like I always say, happy plants equals hardy plants. Wait a minute, do I always say that? Actually, I'm not really sure if I always say that, but I like it. Happy equals hardy. Makes sense. Let's keep it. The all-time best way to make your plants happy is by investing in your soil. Making your soil come alive. That's going to translate into plant health. Healthy soil is healthy plants. So maybe we should say healthy soil equals healthy plants equals hardy plants equals hardy harvest. Ooh, maybe that's good. I don't know. But anyways, soil is so important. That's why we are investing so much time and energy into all this composted material right over there, doing no-till. Last dump. Awesome. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and plant these plants. It's not going to look super fancy. I'm really just trying to get these in the ground so that I can have a harvest before, wintertime comes. You ready to plant some plants? I am. Been waiting for this for way too long. I'm actually going to take a break from the gardening, go get some tools that I just bought from a guy. We'll pick those up, come back, and then we'll go plant those plants. We got some brand new, very old tools. Look at this. They're brand new, old tools. We have rakes and shovels and axes and saws. Two pole saws right over there. 2 pole saws. And all kinds of goodness. And then look at this nice little old Bessie. Rusty Bessie. Wonder how long she'll last. But anyways, when you get a deal, you get a deal. And also, let me show you. I found myself a Jonah. Jonah's here. Hey man.
Guys.
What's up? He's back. He's been, where did you go again?
I went to Georgia for a week to spend time with my dad for his birthday.
Nice, nice. Jonah, you want to help me plant some plants?
Bro, absolutely.
Okay, sweet. That's what I like to hear. First off, we're just going to make some lines going across the garden. Like I said, this is not going to be the fanciest job, but we're going to get these guys planted. You can drop it right there. I'm just tying it to a brick. I'm just making a trench. Trying not to go too deep down to the mushroom compost. That is the first row of this garden ever. That's a monumentous moment right there, man. I'm excited. So I'm planting it into the mushroom compost. That's really where the roots are. Mushroom compost, and then I'm bringing the other compost, the wood chip compost, around without burying the root collar where the roots and stems meet. I don't want that to get all covered up. Putting it around, and I'm actually going to press it down a little because this is so loose right now it's going to be beneficial to press it down. That'll mean more contact for all the different pieces of compost. That'll mean faster decomposition as well as more water holding capacity. I'm going to have 4-foot beds, and then in between the beds is going to be 1.5 to 2-foot walkways. I like a 4-foot bed because you can reach across it to at least the middle without having to reach too far.
And the beauty of this garden binge is that every year it's going to get better.
Oh, and that's so, I love that.
Oh, isn't that a beautiful picture? Every year, it's like, what you're doing right now, it's like putting money in the bank. It's going to be compounding interest.
Yeah.
Every time it rains, it's sending a compost tea of nutrients down into the soil, building the soil every single year, better and better. And your plants will get better and better every year that you plant them in here.
Actually, there's a thing called a half-life. That means every year it gives half of its nutrients away. But that means, you know, 30 years down the road, it's still giving out nutrients to those plants. Being a steward of the land.
Exactly. You're building the soil instead of killing it.
Hey, that sounds good.
If you were a worm, wouldn't you want to live in this? Doesn't that just say home?
It does. It's what you call worm luscious. Worm luscious homestead.
It's a worm homestead right here.
Well, you gonna be filming or you gonna be helping?
What you want me to do?
Both. Just kidding. You can go ahead and film me planting a few more. There's one row done. If this ain't the saddest sight you ever saw, I don't know what is, man. That's just, oh my goodness. Let's try them out, see what they do. Put them in some happy soil, maybe we'll have some happy plants. Even though the day started out a little rough, we figured out the problem, found out that one of the problems wasn't too bad. The grass was not a problem-causing grass. And then we gave the plants a little TLC, and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna make sure and water those little guys in. Told you that guy's crazy.